Virgo. So we got Tia, 25 Virgo, lives in New York City, works with kids and adults with disability, and no kids yourself, right? Never married?
No, and I'm a student as well.
And you're a student. Okay. All right, Tia. What kind of man you looking for?
So I'm dating and I'm on like a couple dating apps and I meet men in person, but I guess someone that's kind, intelligent, that's major for me, um, educated, uh, preferably no kids because I have no kids, and
Okay, that's fair.
uh, just a good person
A
and
good person.
financially secure.
Okay. Should, what are your deal breakers?
I think my deal breakers is any criminal record, someone that's not sensitive to kids or adults with disability or people that are like different than them. Like I have ADHD. That's something that I've kind of always had and I discovered I had it like in my early 20s. So that's a part of my identity and I work with kids and when I graduate I'll be a special education like teacher. So someone that's just very in tune with knowing that there's neurodivergent people out there. So that's important for me. Um, I guess a deal breaker would be not being understanding of that. Another deal breaker would be a lot of kids. Um, 1 in 50-50 relationship, like 1 in a 50-50
Mm.
situationship. And
Oh, she wants a provider. We're getting there. She wants a provider, no 50-50. So that means the man is going to have to pay 100% of the bills because she damn sure isn't paying 100% of the bills. Let's go.
any type of abusiveness.
So you don't want a 50-50 relationship?
No, that's not
Okay.
up culturally. I'm Jamaican, so
Okay. So that means you want a provider 100%.
um
Yeah.
80, 90%, even 70%, yeah, a provider.
80, 90%. Okay.
I absolutely do not believe her. I don't believe that I mean, the way she threw out the 50-50, I don't believe she's the type of woman that, she's going to be willing to share her money with a man. I don't believe she even wants to pay 20%. That's just me.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
I'm 5'8", so I would prefer someone 5'9" and up.
Someone 5'9" and up. Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Here we go.
Yeah, so I do want to get married and I want kids in the future. So I would say uh up upwards of like a quarter, middle six figures.
So 250,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. $250,000. I don't know where they get these numbers from. I don't know if they know the percentage of men who make that money in the US. I don't know if they're hoping to get a Dubai prince. But this is sad. This is crazy. And I'm at a loss of words because, guys, the average man is getting worse. Every single day it's getting worse. So to her, if you make 200,000, if you make 150, if you make $100, $100,000, if you make $70,000, you are not good enough because Super Stellar Tia only wants men making 250 grand. So we're gonna have to check back in 10, 15 years and see if she got this kind of man. Because every woman seems to be wanting this kind of man.
So does the man have a shot with you if he makes less than that or projected to make less than that or no?
No, I want kids, and kids are expensive. I work with kids 5 to 7 days a week, so. um,
Okay, so no man that's not making that or projected to make that.
can I tell you my age range? Maybe that will make more sense to you and the men dating. So, I'm used to dating like executives, people in tech, doctors, um, business owners, and a lot of them do make that amount or higher.
So what's up with that guy?
Good question. Where are they?
Um, well,
Well,
kids. they have kids, or they don't want to be a provider, or things just happen.
So they make the amount of money and they still don't want to be a provider?
Yeah, they want 50-50 relationships.
Yeah, because what are they getting in return? You know, okay, you want the provider, he has the money, but he looks at the situation. He looks, because men who make that kind of money, they don't make the money by being dumb. They clearly do, you know, the analysis and the like cost benefit analysis. They're like, okay, if I'm gonna provide for Stella Tia, you know, she looks good. What am I getting in return from Stella? What is she gonna do for me? What kind of value is worth my 250 grand? And they're like, no, not worth it. Because all you've talked about is what you want from the man. I think this is a gem for the ladies. For the ladies going on Kendra G, I believe this would help the ladies. Come on the show and tell Kendra what you are going to do for a man. Knowing exactly what you want from a man, you'll have lots of men coming your way. Because finally there's going to be a woman who actually is saying what value she adds to a man, rather than what she's expecting from a man. That's why you have dealt with all these men making good money, but they don't want to provide for Tia.
So you date the men that make $250K and they still want a 50-50 relationship?
Yeah, many men don't want to be providers. It's a thing.
No, they don't want to provide for you. And ask yourself why.
Or some of them don't want to have kids, or they're a certain age. So the age range I date, I would say, would be like 30 and up.
Okay. But 250K is the minimum.
I want to be married and I want to have kids. So I would say, I don't want to put a number on it, because I feel like there's a stigma when you put a number on it.
No, it's not a stigma. What you just did is crossed out, canceled out almost 95% of men, of all single, if you want black men. You just canceled out 95% of all single men, maybe even more, because $250,000 may be in the top 2-3%. So probably 97% of men have been canceled out because that's your number.
So
Well, I mean, here's the deal. The question can be skipped, and sometimes the question can't be skipped. But I mean, the answer could be whatever it is, right? So there's some women who don't care, but you obviously do care. So I guess the clarity is this: you want to have children, and when you have children, you do not want to work at all.
Oh no, my career trajectory is teacher, specialist, lawyer. So I do want to work, but I do want someone that will provide for the family. Like that's
So she wants to work. I will translate what she's saying. She wants to be able to work, save her money, but she wants a man who's going to be able to pay the bills. So the man can work, pay the bills for everybody. She can work and save her money, just in case.
I guess sometimes I've heard this question from the men. So what happens with all the money that you make if he's the sole provider?
Mm-hmm.
It goes into the household, it goes into the kids, it goes into investment, travel, stuff like that.
But if he's the sole provider providing 100%, that doesn't make sense. So he's going to be 70-30%, 80-20? That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so he's the sole provider of all the living expenses, and your money is the extracurricular activity.
Yes.
Okay, we got the explanation. Okay,
I don't believe her.
Kendra Cam. Oh, look, Karen State.
I like to go hiking and exercise and stuff like that. So, my schedule is a little bit packed right now, but when I'm not so packed, I'm very active.
When you're not so packed, okay. Let me see. We got some paid questions, child.
Let's go.
No.
This one said, Kendra, go ahead and get your drawing pad ready. Save her some time.
Facts.
So I have been known to draw people for people when they say something that we think is not going to happen. I'm not going to draw your man, though.
Come on, Kendra.
I'm not asking for a lot. These are the men that I date,
But you don't have one of those men right now. That should tell you something. And you, in your words, you said when you have met the men who can make the kind of money that you want, they didn't provide for you. So look in the mirror, baby girl, and ask yourself why.
Um,
Yeah, okay, but let me challenge that. So one will say, if these are the men that you date, then you don't even need to be with us. You should be able
Mm-hmm.
to close the deal then because you already have access to the men that you date.
Exactly.
So that actually kind of makes it worse because what you're telling us is you have access to these men, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not closing the deal with them to get what you want, I guess, which is to be their wife.
Red flag alert.
I see your point there. My goal isn't to be someone's wife that doesn't want me to be their wife. So it has to be equally aligned, right? Like,
So that means you're no wife material. That's all it means. But obviously, you don't want to take accountability. You don't want to look in the mirror and find out exactly what those men want. I think that's the main issue she has and some ladies have. They talk about what they want from those men, but they never think about what would that man want from me. Figure out what those men want from a woman. That way, when you meet them, you can close the deal.
like, like right now, my focus right now is like making sure I can provide for myself. But the whoever is coming in my life, I want them to be able to provide as well.
See,
So
again.
that's why I'm in grad school. That's why I plan to go to law school. Like I want to be a boss chick. Like I want to be able to provide and take care of myself. But whoever else is going to be in that picture needs to also be able to do that. So if not,
Oh my gosh, she wants a sugar daddy. Just say it. You don't want to be a wife. You don't want to, be a traditional woman. You just want to be a boss ass chick, strong, independent woman who only needs a man for his money. You just want a sugar baby. You just want to be a sugar baby. Just say it. Like, just save us the time. Because no man is going to that deal just for the sake of it. Like, no man is looking to provide for super stellar tier just for the sake of it. I mean, if you're already going to be making this money for yourself, why do you want a man to provide for you? I mean, you're going to be paying for yourself anyway.
it's not like I'm asking for something that I can't do for myself.
Okay, then do it for
No,
yourself.
I get that. I think this is where, listen, I always tell people I'm not a relationship expert. I'm not a life coach. I don't give myself those titles. What I will say is I have a journalist background. And for the last 5 years, I have been talking to more than, I mean, really, I think the number is more than 15,000 single people. So with that, I've collected a lot of data. And I was talking about this the other day, and I get the boss chick mentality because the boss chick says kind of what she says. I can provide this for myself, so I'm only asking what you can do in return, which makes sense. I get that logical thinking, right?
Mhm.
But the disconnect, the man that usually makes that amount, he dates with a different mindset.
Yep.
I don't think any man wants a stupid woman to be his wife because they want somebody smart enough to raise their kids. I don't think any man even wants necessarily a broke woman, right? But I think it's not, they don't always say, I want my financial equal. It's more so, I want the woman that fits within my lifestyle. And sometimes it could be a woman who makes half of what you make. She wins out of availability for the things that he needs, right?
Facts.
So, but either way, I will.
It's more about what are you willing to provide that man. That's the only thing they miss. They want all these things from a man. Provide for me, do this, be nice, ABCD. But they never have a list of the value they provide to that man. And they never even think about it. They just think about what is he going to do for me. It's never about what can I give him in return to paying all my bills. Some think it's sex, but it's beyond sex, especially if you're talking about marriage.
Good.
So I was dating this guy for 3 months recently, and it's funny enough that you're talking about this. The reason that I had to cut off that relationship was a few things came up that I didn't agree with. So he does well for himself. He's in tech, but we got into a conversation about like what happens if I get pregnant or what happens if we're married and I have kids. So his take is that he knows people that have kids and goes back to work in 3 months, 6 months. My take is that if I'm having a child with a man, I want to be able to be there for that child at least until they can talk. So
Well, but I asked you this question, and I said you want to have kids and you don't want to work, and you said that's not true. I'm a student. I want to do this.
Then
Oh, your volume went out, honey.
I'm sorry, until they can talk, as in I want to go back to work, as in that is something that I wouldn't mind doing, but I want to be there. I want to heal after I have a child. Black women have the highest mortality rate, so it all comes into play. So I would want to be with someone that, if I can't work or if I can't contribute to the household, they can pick up the slack 100% without anything.
So what is so how many years is that till the child can talk? Like 2 years old?
Yeah,
Right.
for him, that was a absolutely not.
Okay.
So that's why I had to, that and a few other reasons was why I had to break that off.
Okay. Fair.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, pretty good looking lady, but she's gonna struggle, especially because of the amount that she's asking for. She could do well with, I don't know how much she makes, but she could do well with an average guy and just start to build together. But to her, that looks like she's dating down and putting her lowering her standards and settling. And this is why I said it's getting worse for the average guy, because all the numbers they're throwing out is in the top 3%, top 5%.
Fair enough. So you guys were in a relationship?
Yeah, we were dating for months. I literally broke it off. I think early.
Were you guys dating or were you guys in a relationship?
3 months.
Say what?
All right, we were dating for 3 months.
Okay. But you guys weren't in an exclusive relationship?
No, I was in an exclusive relationship with my ex up until like December.
Okay. Oh, so you went to him. And now your ex made your 250 quality, 250,000 a year?
Way more.
So why you break up with him?
Good question.
I don't want to get into it. So it's personal.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right, so these are the men that you frequent. So you feel as though, I would say this, I know that if you are around the men in that tax bracket, that is, I mean, I know it seems like it's normal, but that is an exceptional tax bracket. It is. So don't negate that. I think you are doing a good job because you are dating within your circle, so that's good. So now I'm getting more of the backstory of where your standards coming from.
But I think the issue is, after dating all these men, I think, like you say, like she said, she broke up with the last guy because he didn't meet a certain requirement of her staying home after she gives birth, right? Of going back to work after she gives birth. But I think one thing she hasn't learned from all her experiences dating rich men is that she hasn't learned what they want. She only focuses on what she wants. She's trying to make sure the man qualifies for her. She hasn't thought about, okay, do I qualify for them? What about what they want? And to find a compromise and a balance. It's like she wants a man who makes this kind of money, wants to pay all the bills, wants me to stay home, wants to do A, B, C, D, but she has never thought about, okay, where can we meet in the middle? Because I know he wants certain things. Where can I, if I have a list of 10 things, can I get at least 7 things and let the other 3 go? And then, but hey, good luck.
Okay. All right. Let's continue. So what are your 3 flaws? Wait, did I ask you when we got your last relationship? When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
TMI.
Okay. And 3 flaws you have to work on.
My time, I have a time, because of my ADHD, sometimes I have time blindness. I've gotten it down from my teenage years from like an hour or 2 to about 15 minutes now. So I've been actively working on that for like 10 years.
Been working on what?
Time blindness. So sometimes I have more time than I have and I don't. So I'll like run a little late.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
That's diagnosed with something? Because I definitely got that. Child, what is it called? I thought it was CP time. There's another word for it.
It's called time blindness. So
I guess all women have that. They want you to wait for them half an hour later, and they don't want you to be mad. And if you get mad and check them on it, they become the victims. Oh, how can you not understand? I mean, it's not like I'm 2 hours late. I'm only 45 minutes late. They play the victim once you check them on being late. So just a word to you guys who are going on dates.
When you have ADHD, you have a few things that are quirks for some people.
Child, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody, late is my. It's a shame. You almost got to lie to me to get me on time. Like you should tell me it starts 2 hours earlier to get me on time. But okay, that's the thing. Thank you for that. 2 more flaws.
I think
Being entitled.
I expect a lot from people because I expect a lot from myself. So
No, that's called being entitled, baby girl. That's called being entitled. That's it.
that could be a flaw, and I can walk away from anything. Like I'm a lover and a leaver. That's what I tell people.
Red flag. Red flag. You're gonna get married to her. She's gonna file for divorce as soon as something doesn't go her way. Like I said, she wants everything in her way. She has no compromise at all. She has no balance. She's not trying to be understanding. Anything you do, she's just gonna break up the family. So those are red flags. But no matter what I say, she's a good looking woman. So some of you guys are still gonna, reach out. But I know majority of you won't because you're probably broke like me. You don't got the 250 grand. So hey, at least I'm not gonna be alone. All right. So shout out to Kendra. I'm not gonna watch the other 15 minutes. I'll put the link down below.